You'll have to forgive me for somehow mixing up the Kings and Lakers, because if some of you noticed, which I didn't really see it in the comment section, but my last episode was the 02 Kings and I skipped right over the 01 Lakers. They didn't get an episode. For some reason on my computer, I had the project written down as 01 Kings and they're organized alphabetically, so it just went in this order, and I didn't see anybody be like, Dom, you just missed the 01 Lakers. I was surprised. I thought a lot of people wanted to see this team, but whether you wanted to or not, here they are. In the video I did on my main channel a couple of days ago with the Lakers and Bulls, I actually mixed up this team with the one that had the MVP Shaq, and that's pretty easy to do as they're only a year apart, and I'm not sure it really makes a difference because Shaq is every bit as dominant on this team as he would be on the 2000s. The 2000 Lakers are actually the team that went 67-15 during the regular season, but the team we're using here actually went 56-26 during the regular season and then did all their damage in the playoffs when they went 15-1. I'm pretty sure that's why 2K made the distinction and put them instead of the 2000 Lakers, because the roster isn't all that different. So as I do with every team, I'm gonna give you a couple of things I liked about using them and a couple of things I disliked. The first thing I liked is, just like what made them dangerous in real life, it's the same thing that works in the video game. So basically, Kobe and Shaq are the two best players on the floor about 90% of the time no matter who you're playing, and just based off of that, you already have an advantage because, yeah, you got the two best players. I would say as far as Shaquille O'Neal goes, he's one of the few cheat code players in this game, and so I would say the cheat code player list would be Stephen Curry, Shaquille O'Neal, definitely probably Kevin Durant based off of how I've had to play against him on the Thunder, and maybe there's one or two other players you could put on that list, but Shaq, you know, it's not really unrealistic because just like with Stephen Curry, how he's shooting from half court and they had to put that in the game and that makes him a cheat code, Shaquille O'Neal, 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, way bigger than everybody else, and he's skilled at that. That made him unstoppable in real life, and in the game it's pretty much the exact same thing. Although he's super easy to dominate with, there is a couple of drawbacks. For one, if you're playing a small ball team like the modern day Warriors, Shaq can quickly become a liability on the defensive end. So yeah, you might be able to kill the small guys in the paint, but the trade-off for that is, say you're playing the 16 Warriors, you know, if he puts a lineup with Harrison Barnes at the power forward and Draymond Green at the center position, all of a sudden Shaquille O'Neal is out there on the three-point line, and not only is he too slow to be chasing those guys around there, but then he's outside of the paint so he can't protect the rim. It makes him harder for him to rebound, so there's some drawbacks there. But still, 9 times out of 10, having Shaq on your team is probably going to be an advantage. But anyways, you have Kobe Bryant to kind of offset that, because if you are playing somebody who's using the small ball strategy, chances are they're going to want to try to double Shaq because they don't have their big man defending him, and they can't really try to double him when you have Kobe Bryant floating around the perimeter. I played another game aside from the one you're seeing on this screen, and I believe it was actually against the Warriors, and they started trying to double Shaq, and Kobe went off for about 10 or 15 straight points, and if you leave him open, he catches fire really quickly. And the second thing I liked about this team was the support pieces they have around them. So it's not just Kobe and Shaq. Some teams just have some main advantages and everybody else on the roster is garbage, but these are really good support pieces. Rick Fox can shoot, Derek Fisher can shoot, Robert Horry, he's a stretch forward, so he's a power forward that can shoot, and that's really nice because in the original starting lineup they have Horace Grant. But if you really want to give yourself some floor spacing, especially if you know someone is going to be trying to double Shaq, you can just put Robert Horry in that spot and have him rolling around the perimeter, so now there can only be a maximum of about 1, maybe 2 people in the paint with Shaq, and that's if they want to give up threes all game. And that's just a testament to how versatile this team is, because you can have Robert Horry coming in doing that, but also sometimes Derek Fisher can be a bit of a defensive liability. He's really small in this game, so people are trying to put him in the post, and especially when a lot of these teams have superstar point guards, you really might not want him in there. You might want him to lead your bench instead. Well, that's great because they have Ron Harper coming off the bench, and he's a taller, better defensive point guard in this game. So I had some instances where I had to play against like it's either the 87 or 88 Lakers, and they've got Magic Johnson, and then on the wings you've got James Worthy, and then you got Byron Scott or Michael Kubers. So that's an instance where you might not want Derek Fisher out there, but you can just put Ron Harper in instead and you're good. Devin George also comes off the bench, and he can hit the occasional shot, but I really like him for his athleticism. So in short, the Lakers have a lot of kick-ass support pieces around 2 of the best players in the game. Now let's get into what I disliked about this team. To be honest, I kind of had to look for it because when I played this game, originally it was the only game I played with them, and I was like, you know, this is kind of a perfect team, there's nothing I dislike. And then I played a couple more games with them, and this might sound like nitpicking, but there is a couple of things that are annoying. For one, the coaching on this team is absolute trash. Whoever's filling in for Phil Jackson, whoever that 2K generic is coaching this team, it is absolute trash. So one thing I'm going to tell you is if you use the 0-1 Lakers, always keep either Kobe or Shaq out there, because while those are good support pieces that they have around him, they're not meant to come out and replace the entire starting five. They're meant to complement the starting five. And this coach, what he always does is when there's 1 minute left in the first quarter, he always replaces the entire team with the bench. He empties the bench. And when you don't have Kobe or Shaq out there to draw the defense's attention, it's really hard to score with this second unit. So if you're one of the people who lets the coach handles the rotations manually, which I'm assuming on 5-minute quarters most of you try to do that, you don't want to be bothered with making substitutions like every other few minutes, yeah, just make sure the coach doesn't sub everybody out, because that's a quick way to get screwed. The second thing is this team is much like the '64 Celtics, where their plays are absolute trash, they rarely work, and they're of the same variety. I tried plays for Kobe, I tried plays for Shaq, and they literally all do the same thing. Now this might not bother some of you because I know a lot of you run freelance offenses, but when I'm playing with these teams for the first time, I'm trying to create some movement, and it's almost always the same thing. Somebody comes from the post and sets a screen for a player, then he sets a screen for the person with the ball and runs straight to the post, and I swear that happened for almost everybody I call to play with. And then there were some instances where I was like, okay, you know what, maybe I'm just calling the same play over and over, or maybe I'm not really being careful with what I'm picking. So then I tried the 2K smart play, and then it just won't work at all. Now, I know that's normally a glitch with 2K, and I have seen that before, but that's a problem that I don't have with other teams. When I call smart plays for other teams, 9 out of 10 times it works, and I had some trouble today where I played with this team again to try to get a refresher, and as I would use 2K smart play, nothing would happen. No spots would come up, the players wouldn't move, and then I would just had to rush because the shot clock is ticking, so I just kind of had to rush through and pick something. So yeah, the 2K generic that they've got coaching this team, I think I speak for all of us when I say we want Phil back. And that about wraps up my play with the 0-1 Lakers. Overall, I did enjoy this team. Kobe and Shaq are really dominant, and although I had to look for something to dislike with this team, by no means are they perfect. There's plenty of bad matchups for this squad, and specifically teams that can play small ball, so just watch out for that. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, comment, and sub, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications on future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.